Hey everyone, welcome back. And today we're going to talk about applying cognitive behavioral therapy, choice theory, uh, positive psychology, solution focus to parenting. Now, in this series, this kind of impromptu series, it's about the application, more of the psychoeducational application of CBT outside of individual or traditional therapy, individual, group, couple, family. Um, and applying it to the corporate world, helping people to think in a rational way so they don't have imposter syndrome, they don't procrastinate, they're not depressed, they're not anxious, they're not overly stressed. Identifying ways of thinking and behaviors that contribute to stress and anxiety and depression, or at least excessive, unhealthy negative emotions. And then also in school, helping kids to think in a more rational, logical, not mind read, not fortune tell, not catastrophize, not engage in self-blame or labeling themselves as bad. Just helping students, think in a more objective, rational, strengths-based, solution-based way. And today we're going to talk about parenting, helping parents to help their kids think in a more rational way. Now, when your parents, even before they go to school, you want to help children become more self-sufficient, more resilient, more optimistic. And to that end, there's the perennial favorite, parent effectiveness training. It's been around for a long time, I think since the 70s, maybe even before then. And about helping kids make good choices, helping them become more independent. And if the things go wrong, it's more like natural consequences as opposed to imposed consequences or artificial. There's also, for choice theory, parenting teenagers. William Glasser applies choice theory and reality therapy to helping parents and teenagers get along better and to helping the teenagers become more independent and rational. And even younger, peaceful parenting, again, Nancy's trained in choice theory and reality therapy for younger kids as well. And again, this is helping people make better choices, recognizing the needs that they have, how to think about things in a way that leads them forward instead of self-denigrating or that is harmful. And finally, The Optimistic Child by Martin Seligman, who's one of the foundational people in positive psychology. And this is about, again, helping young kids to become more optimistic, to think in a more optimistic way rather than a negative, pessimistic way, and certain things that you can do to cultivate that. So again, just the idea of, as parents, you're helping your child to become resilient, optimistic, positive, solution-focused, strengths-based, to not engage in self-harming behaviors, to think in a more logical, rational, objective way, to not engage in mind reading and beating yourself up. Just imagine how many problems could be solved if kids just grew up never knowing anything different than learning to be self-reliant and resilient and positive and optimistic and have self-confidence and self-acceptance. It's not that life would be problem-free, and it's not that there wouldn't be any negative emotions, but the negative emotions would be more manageable and they'd be able to persevere. And then imagine, as you're raising your kids when they go to school. School's the same thing, right? You have students and teachers that are focused on positive psychology and strengths-based. And a lot of the problems like bullying would be reduced. Now, not eliminated, of course, but reduced. And imagine there's less self-destructive behavior. There's less drug use, and I know that's become pretty ubiquitous here, but at least it would be, if not eliminated, at least reduced and not used as a coping mechanism to deal with uncomfortable emotions. It wouldn't be a way of escape. Imagine fewer suicides, less mental health counseling. Mental health counseling, fortunately, has lost much of its stigma, not all, but much of it. But people are just raised again to be more optimistic and positive and thinking and acting in ways that are more helpful and more productive. So you go from learning this as a kid and having your parents parent you in a way that's more optimistic and positive and rational. You go to school and you'll learn that from your teachers in school. You graduate and go to work, and everyone's on board with thinking logically and rationally, and with stress management and being more assertive and dealing with adversity. And people are just getting this from many different areas. I think the impact can be enormous. I'm going to do my last one, the next video on couples, and helping couples with each other. Because if you have a good relationship, and your kids see that, that's positive, and just the impact that you have on just the most important person in your life, your partner. So it is kind of like couples therapy, but I'm going to view it more as like coaching, more like, again, psychoeducational approach, just couples understanding each other and practicing the techniques with each other. So then they have it for their children, the children have it in school, and then you go to work. And I think that, again, this is more of an psychoeducational approach, as distinct from therapy. I guess it's more educational, perhaps coaching would be another way of looking at it. But again, distinct from therapy. I think if people just were raised this way, again, about 75 to 80% of the things that trouble us could be, if not eliminated, at least greatly ameliorated. And then whatever's left, that's what you can go into therapy for, and maybe a little bit deeper. So I hope you find this helpful, and I have one more video on this, and then we'll go back into more traditional therapy techniques. But I hope this was helpful, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.